NFL training camps are getting underway, and we're going to the guy who, of course, played here in Happy Valley. Yesterday, Cowboys owner Jerry Jones took a shot or 7 at Micah Parsons because, of course, Micah wants a new contract. The number is now sitting at $41 million after TJ Watt reset the market. Mentioned quite a few things, including he didn't play a lot last year. He missed 6 games. He missed 4. It's a lot of saying, like, let's put it this way. We went over every possible detail you can go over and had agreement. Clearly, they don't have an agreement because nothing's signed. And he is, quote-unquote, okay with dangling participles when it comes to Micah Parsons' soon to possibly maybe not be brand new contract. So, I don't know. And, of course, he is not the only one, Micah, when it comes to contracts taking place that are not.
This guy thinks George Pickens is a great player.
Yes.
Let's move on.
Like it's.
Look, he's paid out money left and right to people. What the heck? Okay, look, here's the bottom line. Okay, what does the market tell you? The market tells you that he is worth a minimum
of $41 million.
$42 million a year.
41.1, I guess, because that's usually what happens. They bump them by a little bit every time.
But $42 million. Let's just do by a million extra per year. That's what the market says. Myles Garrett got 40. TJ Watt got 41. He's the next guy up, 42. That's what the market tells you. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Ask yourself how good you are when he doesn't play.
Not great, Steve. Not great. J.J. Watt then reposted the clip over on social media saying anytime you can publicly take a dig at your star quarterback and your star pass rusher simultaneously right before the season begins, you just gotta take it. Nothing makes guys want to fight for you more than hearing how upset you are that they got hurt while fighting for you. Micah Parsons then reposted that over on Twitter, which is when people are like, okay, so now we know kind of how Micah feels.
Well, look, let's start with this. Why has the NFLPA resisted an 18-game season over and over again? Because of the injury factor. Sure, they can talk about money all they want, but it really is the injury factor. How many times late in the year, let's just take the glamour position of quarterback, where it's Monday Night Football, and you're asking yourself, okay, who are these two guys playing quarterback? Because the starters are hurt.
I don't want to discuss the Saints last year. It's atrocious.
Right. It's just, and that's just a position. Right. Micah Parsons gets belted on every play he's out there, just like TJ Watt does, just like Myles Garrett does, just like Trey Hendrickson does. Every single play, there's heavy contact. There are certain plays, for example, where a quarterback throws the ball, doesn't get touched. Okay. But not when you're playing in the trenches. There's contact, and it's hard contact on every single play. You're going to get hurt with that many reps, that many games. And for an owner with incredibly deep pockets, he's never been shy about letting the world know that he has money.
No.
Right? I've been in that stadium. Right? He paid for that stadium. The state of Texas did not put money into that stadium. Right? He paid for it. And that's, by the way, to his credit.
Yeah.
To his absolute, ever-loving credit. Right? He has poured a lot of money into Dak Prescott. What has he been able to get out of Dak Prescott? Okay? He's poured a lot of money into C.D. Lamb. What has he gotten out of C.D. Lamb? Okay, he's poured a lot of money in different areas. Now, out of nowhere, he's got a backbone and is going to not pay unquestionably his best defensive player. Look, you go out there and you okay. Number one, you don't negotiate in the media. You give, hey, great player. We're in the middle of the talks. Right? We'll do everything we can to make the talks progress. Pretty simple answer. Okay? That's all you have to do. Did I insult anybody? Did I over hype how we feel about it? Whatever? Okay. Yeah. If it's brought up, he says, well, obviously there's a market out there. We're going to see how everything fits in the market, as what our thought process is and what their thought process is, and then we'll work and see if we can come to an agreement.
By the way, when it comes to Micah, he has reported for camp. We are unsure at the moment if he will participate in practice or not. It does start today, so we should find out shortly if he's going to take part in practice at all.
And that's the new term. The new term is hold in.
Yes.
You're in, but you're not doing anything. Remember T.J. Watt did that, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
3 years ago, he did that with the Steelers. So it's
he
not,
held in.
It's not an uncommon occurrence now.
The other side of things, Trey Hendrickson is holding out right now with the Bengals. He will not report with the rest of the team veterans Tuesday. He told this to Adam Schefter. And
he's in
report,
an interesting spot because Stewart's not there.
Shamar Stewart is also not there.
He's
and
the only first-round pick that
unsigned.
is not signed.
And up until this week, I think a majority of the second-rounders had not been signed either because they were waiting for guaranteed contracts. A lot have been signing their deals in recent days. But to go along with this, Hendrickson has given comment, I believe, to different outlets, basically stating the Bengals are nowhere even close to a respectable number, which if you're sitting here, he's the number that these guys are getting, $40 million. I would project he doesn't get 42. I would think he gets somewhere in the 30s.
He'd get in the 30s.
But my assumption is that they're probably sitting at like 20 or something like that. If I'm just guessing based off this, they're not probably close enough to even a ballpark for him.
On the offensive side of the ball, Cincinnati has spent money.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Burrow, they have to have him. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. Let's face it. I mean, this is what
they've spent.
This is what's going to make the Bengals have a shot in every game.
They're gonna be the Saints from 2012, where it's put 50 points up and let up 49.
It's gonna be a lot of 37-34 games. You've got one player that stands out above them all on the defensive side of the ball. Now, here's the question you always have to ask. For the most part, Bill Belichick was good at this. For the most part. What is your perceived shelf life? The quote from Bill Walsh, and this came from Randy Cross. Randy Cross, outstanding guard, 49ers, terrific player. Cross, they've won a couple Super Bowls. Cross is feeling good about himself. He'd like to get a 5-year deal. And Walsh looks at him and says, and this has been the Belichick philosophy as well, I think you have 2 more great years. He says, I only want the 2 great years. He says, I don't want to give you 5 years. Because the last 3 years, you're not going to be great. He said, I only want the 2 great years. Well, Belichick had the ability, and again, not perfect. Were there other guys that moved on someplace? Although several of them ended up trading to Cleveland. That seemed to be the outpost. Hey, we're going to send you to Nome. Oh, great, good. Nome, that's fabulous. Don't they have the Iditarod? Fabulous. All right. But he would look at you and he'd say, I'm going to sign you a short-term contract because that's what we see. Or he would look at you and say, I think you got 1 more great year left, and we can get by with it with that year, and we're not going to do it. And that's how when you treat it as an absolute business, that's how you do it. Now, I don't know why the Bengals, they've spent a lot of money on offense, so let's not say that they're cheap. They've spent a lot of money on offense.
They're spending $55 million a year on Joe Burrow, $40 million on Jamar Chase, $28 million on T. Higgins. They're spending $16 million on Orlando Brown at left tackle. Mike Gesicki's $8.5 million. Like, those are some of the top contracts they have.
Right. That's what they have at this point. Yet they've had a reputation over the years of being rather tight. Okay. And by NFL standards. By NFL standards. They get the same amount of money everybody else does. Sure, there's some differences as to what their luxury suites may go for as opposed to what the luxury suites in Los Angeles go for. But everybody gets the same TV money. Well, it doesn't take a genius. I mean, it takes you like 18 seconds to read, where the salary cap and the TV number are the same.
Yep.
So everybody gets the same. The cap is the same as the TV number. So I don't understand why they're not. And with Stewart, for example, Stewart, the NFL has gone really to, I mean, it was informal for many years, but now under the last two CBAs, it really has been almost a formal slotting.
This is your number.
Right? What is he, the 17th pick?
He was the 17th overall pick in this draft.
Yeah, so the 17th overall pick in the draft. Well, guess what? You get a little less money than the 16th pick, and you get a little more money than the 18th pick. It's not that difficult.
And apparently the sticking point in negotiations, per Bengals team president Mike Brown, and has been reported also about Shamar Stewart, it is a dispute over the language in Stewart's contract pertaining to potential conduct detrimental to the team. In that scenario, it could void guaranteed money owed to Stewart. It's a clause the Bengals added recently to mirror other teams around the league. This would be their first year having it. Stewart and his agents have basically been like, we're not the ones you're testing this on. Because he's sitting here, Stewart is, as the person they brought in the Bengals to deal with Trey Hendrickson and get leverage back. All of a sudden, they get Stewart. Well, we don't need you, Trey. We're not going to pay you as much. And the Bengals can try and sign him for less or trade him. But now they have neither.
I believe Stewart did have some off-the-field problems at Texas A&M.
He did.
And so them bringing that up, look, I don't, just slot him and go from there. It's really a simple solution to it. And you have to have a finding system that if he does something like that, they already have in the CBA how to handle situations like that, as to what the maximum fines can be, as to what the maximum suspensions can be, and so forth. That is dealt with in the CBA. That's why when you hear, why did he only get that as a fine? Because it's probably whatever league it happens to be, the maximum they could fine him under the CBA.
May I make a point as well? If you are sitting there at 17 and you know you're going to put this in the contract, but there's even a chance that you're putting this in the contract to a guy who may already have issues, why would you at that point select him? Like, you're sitting there and you're going to put this in.
I don't.
And there's a chance that they don't accept it. And you know that going in, you're like, we're still going to take him. And now you're sitting here with no edge rusher because he's not here and Trey Hendrickson's not here in a situation you caused yourself. They could have said, you know what? We're not going to select him. They could have traded back.
Well,
and I know James Pierce Jr. also had issues. They could have said, well, we're just going to trade on back out of the first round, get a bunch of stuff, go and get someone in the second round. Because, I don't know, that makes more sense to me. And going back to get, you've got Donovan Azaruaka from Boston College and Ohio State's JT Tuimoloau, who both went in the second round at the start of it. Go and get those two guys instead with the assets you gain from trading back.
Sakes.
Like, you caused this on yourself.
Okay, JTT. And even Jack Sawyer. With all due respect, I'd have picked either one of them before I picked Stewart. You know how I feel about Stewart. I'm not a big. I'm not big. That was one of those first round picks where I looked around and went, what are you looking at?
But that's the problem, is they sat there. They could have done that. But they went into this, knew there could be an issue, have the issue now, and they're saying, well, it's on Stewart for not doing it and not signing this contract. It's on you. Because you selected him knowing this was a possible outcome. And he has the leverage because Trey Hendrickson hasn't signed a contract. Both of the guys have leverage because they're sitting there. Stewart's saying, I won't sign this deal until you take this clause out. And Hendrickson's sitting there saying, I won't sign the deal until you get to my number. Spoiler, they don't have any defensive ends who can cover. Right now, their highest paid defensive end, you have Joseph Osai, who's sitting there at $6.5 million. The next guy, you have Miles Murphy, who was a pick in, I believe, last year's draft or 2 years ago's draft.
Let's bottom line it. They are not a good defensive team.
They're a terrible defensive team. Trey Hendrickson led the NFL in sacks last year, and he's the only hope they had.
Exactly.
And now they have neither of the guys they hope to have because they're screwing themselves.
But you're out there playing a game with a guy like this And look, he could prove me wrong and have a great career.
Mm-hmm.
At this hour, I don't see it. I don't see it.
Yeah.
No. I wouldn't have drafted him, so I wouldn't be in this spot. But for whatever reason, their evaluation was,
he's worth the risk. But you know what? He's not worth the risk when it comes to the contract part of it. Like, that's where I'm holed up. Is they saw the risk of him and his conduct. If it was a real concern for them, they shouldn't have drafted him.
I know.
But they drafted him, and they shot themselves in the kneecap with Trey Hendrickson and shot themselves in the other knee with Shamar Stewart. And now they've screwed themselves because neither of those two guys have any, like, they don't need to sign a contract unless the clause is taken out for Stewart and Hendrickson gets closer to $40 million and he wants more guaranteed money beyond 1 year. And the rumor is that they are not offering him guaranteed beyond the first year. He's saying, well, Crosby and Garrett and Watt and everyone else signing these contracts for guaranteed for like the first 2 or 3 years. I want closer to that. And he has every right to do this because they're terrible on defense. He's the only guy on defense that does anything, led the NFL in sacks, and they have no one else on the defensive end or defensive front. Like, he is sitting there with all the leverage.
I know.
And they just... It stuns me sometimes that this is what the outcome is. They made their bed, but they're not refusing to lie in it.
Well, okay. What you have here are 3 defensive ends.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And the part about 3 defensive ends is this. You have an owner dealing with one who has a reputation for doling out money and appears to now, for the first time, put up at least a verbal wall, right? As opposed to another group that has had a reputation in general for not paying a lot of money. Right? And now they want to put in clauses that nobody else has. You drafted him. You did the research on him. Okay? We know he has had a couple of off the field, like head scratchers. All right? You picked him. But now you want to put clauses in about it? I don't think so.
You would think that if they were going to try and do this, they could have, in a roundabout way, brought it up and mentioned it as a part of a conversation when you're discussing with his agents ahead of time. Like, we're looking at taking your guy. Would this be a problem? Like, I assume that could be brought up in some way. And you don't? It truly stuns me sometimes, Steve, that we're sitting here and things happen and we're just like, why? Why are we doing this? None of it makes sense. You're sitting here, and in terms of value, they're paying the top contract on their defense in terms of total value is $36 million to Logan Wilson. That is the highest paid guy on their defense, total number-wise. $36 million
by the way,
over 4 years.
Logan Wilson is
He's a good player. B.J. Hill's a good defensive tackle, 3 years, $33 million. But that's it. That's the top guys. The offensive side of things, you've got, what, $500 to $600 million tied up between purely Burrow, Chase, and Higgins, and then add an Orlando Brown in there. Like, you're sitting here with $600 plus million between those three and Orlando Brown. $600 million.
Yeah.
And
how old's Hendrickson? Is he 30 now?
Hendrickson is I believe turning 30 this year.
Yeah.
He is right now. He is 30. His birthday is December.